Hey, it's your boy Sergeant Hooked on Henshins. So today we are talking about episode 44 of Kamen Rider Revice. I gotta say, for me personally, since the debut of Ultimate Revice, Gift Card Racks, whatever you want to call it, the show's been on an uptick, and this episode was absolutely stellar. But let's get into the details. So the main plot for it has to do with Gif ends up coming out, and he's like, yo, what's up? And he came out of the closet finally. I'm not trying to make light of that. Comes out into the open and ends up he's trying to take both Icky and actually everybody there, and Vice gets in the way. Vice gets taken by him into the Gafusi, parallel demonic dimension thing. While he's in there, he sees a bunch of bubbles all around him with different people in it. He even sees Olteka. Keep that in mind. And it's here that Giff finally has a voice out of nowhere and talks to him, telling him, he's like, oh, I must be able to understand him because I'm a demon created by him. Maybe that's why I can understand him. And so Giff mentions that, he's fed up with humanity, that he's let it go this long, them creating their demons and him feeding off that energy from them and even the demons themselves. And that has gone on too long, and now he wants to eliminate humanity. He's like, but, the Igarashi family does have my own cells within them, so I will wipe out all of humanity and leave them alive. And Vice basically tells him that's bullshit. Like, we can't do that. Humanity is worth it. And he tries to defend humanity. It doesn't clearly work. And the whole time, his connection through his driver and through his contract with Icky is resonating. So on the other side, they're like, whoa, what the hell? Where's Vice at? And he's communicating to him, and they're hearing everything Giff is saying. And he's telling them what's going on. And so they're able to pull Vice back through. So they kind of are moving on to the next part of their plan. We then switch focus to George Karazaki, who's back at the weekend base working on the Demon's Driver, messing with it, kind of updating it and adjusting it so that Hiromi can use it, because Hiromi wants to break through to Daiji. We'll get to that in a little bit. And somebody comes up and lets him know, hey, your father isn't doing very well, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, that doesn't matter to me. I'm busy with adjusting the Demon's Driver. And it's very, put off by someone even telling him that. He doesn't really care. And to an extent, I get it. I mean, he's had a lot of revelations lately with, what his dad did back in the day, creating Veil, for what he did to Genta, for what he did to him in terms of, forcing his demon upon his own son. And just in general, things that have, shaped his life that were out of his control, that he thought were things that were just personally him, that were forces out of his control, making him the way he is. And he's feeling a lot of remorse and guilt, you can tell, over his actions, what he did with Hiromi, and in general, feeling quite remorseful for what he's done. And I like this. Yes, it would have been interesting to see him have, the more darker, ulterior motives, George, that we got in the beginning, but it's understandable that the things he did, taking the chances he did, was because of being influenced by an internal demon given to him by somebody else. Also an interesting concept. They're doing a really good job, in my opinion, of doing that with the demons thing and who they contract with, can they be transferred, and whatever is really cool. So he doesn't give a shit. They're like, all right. And so Daiji is determined to contract with Giff. He wants to contract him, be the new Okaishi, blah blah blah. And his family tries to tell him, don't do it, and he doesn't want to listen to them, of course. So we get a few more back and forth scenes of that, a little bit with Hana talking to Sakura, and a few other little mini scenes until we get the main meat of the episode. So Daiji comes in, and he's stopped by Hiromi. And before this, Hiromi talks to George, who gives him back the Demon's Driver and the spider, Vice stamp. And he says, if it means that, he's like, I'll use this, and I'll put down, he does the whole thing, the Wagen no Shio Kakate. Kisamo Tamoru, the whole, I'll lay down my life, it means stopping him. So he says, I'll give up my life if it means, breaking through to Daiji. And instantly he gets caught off by George and says, stop using that phrase. And I kind of like this. I like that he, clearly cares about Hiromi and doesn't want him to keep, essentially putting himself in harm's way because of this, altruistic sense of justice that he has, That's kind of who Hiromi is, and I really like that. He very much so reminds you of, Showa-era writers, especially Ichigo, who put aside their, personal lives and anything they wanted to be because now they're, sort of when he's not, he's still human, but I mean, in general, his like indelible sense of justice is very Showa-like, wanting to like protect people at any cost, even if it means the cost of his own life. And it's a nice foil for how Daiji's going right now, where Daiji, in the absence of Kagero, has become so altruistic and good that he's just like gone off the deep end with it, without Kagero there to kind of break through and be like, what's going on? So they fight, and it's actually a pretty good fight, and we get Hiromi transforming into demons again, and oh my god, I was pumped. If I wasn't, well, where was I watching it at? I'm trying to say, I think I was watching it. I was watching out here, that's right, because I was going to record that day, and I ended up watching it out here, and I was just hooting and hollering. My wife was like, are you doing okay? I'm like, yes, watching Rider. She's like, okay, just turn around, close the door. But anyway, so they fight, and he finally breaks through. He actually matches his kick with Holy Live, which is crazy because Demons doesn't have right now an upgrade to it. Kind of over Demons. We don't talk about that. But anyway, so they clash and they hit their final attacks together, and he's able to break through to Daiji, and he basically tells him, he's like, stop. He's like, you made a mistake, but it's okay. You can move on from this. He's like, you're better than this, Daiji. Like, you made a mistake, but you can move forward. That's okay. Your dad didn't do all of that for nothing. He was trying to show you that you can be remorseful, that you can make up for and apologize for what you've done and do the right thing. And that finally starts to break through to Daiji, and he's not sure if he has the strength or whatever. All of a sudden, feathers come around, and here's Kagero comes out and says, I was never really gone. I was just hiding until you truly needed me. And I like that. I like that. And he says that, you know, he's like, you'll truly fight with me from now on? He goes, well, of course. He's like, and if you fail me again, go off the deep end again like that, your body's mine. And I like that too, that like Kagero still has a bit of the like, you know, kind of sadisticness to him. But now that he's with Daiji again, it's curbed in the way that, you know, they kind of help each other. You know, Daiji helps, just like Vice and Ikki. You know, Ikki convinced and kind of persuaded Vice to not be so demonic and evil and, you know, aggressive, if you will, whereas Vice sometimes influenced Ikki to be a bit more aggressive when it was going to help further his needs or further their goals or what they're trying to accomplish. Same thing here. Kagero and Daiji have this really neat dynamic where they kind of have a really good effect on each other, where Kagero is able to, you know, kind of convince Daiji to kind of take charge and, like, you know, be a little darker sometimes when it calls for it, and Daiji's able to kind of hopefully have that same effect for Kagero. So he cries, actually, and his tear hits the Holy Live stamp or whatever, and that's what brings out Kagero. It changes it, though, into the Evility Live stamp. Kamen Rider Live Demons, or, you know, Live Devil was right there. Live Devil was right there. The name of, like, the song, the theme song thing, that's a, not an anagram. I think it's an anagram, the thing that's saying forward and back or whatever. Anyway, is right there, and they just went with Evility Live. Some people say it's Ability Live, but that doesn't, like, it just, no, it's not. It's Evility Live or something like that. Anyway, it's a badass form. So he uses it, they transform together, they both do the Henshin pose, which is super cool. And, yeah, I forgot also, Hiromi just say a new line, instead of saying, you know, I'll put on my life, it means, you know, I'll sacrifice my life if it means stopping him. He says that he'll devote his life to changing Daiji's resolve. I really like that. So it becomes new stamp. Daiji's tears make it happen and make Kagero come out, and he decides to help him fight. Transforms, and moves the perfect up. And it's a really cool suit. It's a nice retool of the original, like, Holy Live suit. It looks a lot different. It's got a lot more black in there and some purples and stuff, and still, like, the Holy Live parts in it as well. So this is, like, his true final form, I guess you could say. And it looks badass, and the way that they fight together is so cool. The whole time I was like, Persona, because it's like in the Persona games where, like, they swipe and then, like, you know, their after image person attack, or like in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, like the stands thing. So basically how it works now is he can use the blade or gun form like Kagero can do, and or Evil. And when he attacks, sometimes Evil is actually like an after image with him attacking. It's so cool, so badass. And so he ends up fighting the you know, the Giffard Juniors that are there, and the Gift Juniors that are there and everything, and just beating ass. It's a super awesome fight sequence with him, with, you know, debut of this form. The suit, the jingle, the Henshin sequence, beautiful. Love it. The what does it play as the standby? Oh yeah, it's like Wings for the Future. Oh my god, it's so good. I love it so much. I love what it represents. This combination of, like, this it's what you see a lot, and it's like just a touch cringy, like the angel and the devil is one. Like angel, devil, combine it. That's who I am. Like, you know. So I just like it a lot because it's really a really good way to like have an end cap for their relationship. And it's interesting because the production notes talked about, if people brought this up, publicly posted production notes came up about the show and said that that they had planned for Kagero's final appearance when he just was like he was defeated, you know, a while back, was supposed to be it. But because of how popular Daiji was at the time, and Kagero himself, they brought him back to like. So this wasn't planned out, and I really like that. I mean, clearly because it's a kit bash, but I mean, it's a decent one enough that it looks unique enough to be stand on its own, you know. Um, and yeah, so like the fight's really cool. He's, you know, as he's, you know, hitting and slashing and kicking, here comes Kagero doing the same thing. They do the final attack together to destroy the, you know, Giftarian or whatever, Hell Giftarian. Um, and yeah, so they we also get the return of Daiji being a tactician. He's always been known for doing that, being a tactician on the battlefield, figuring out the right way to take care of things. So he comes up to Ikki, quickly says sorry to him and to Sakura, and he says, hey, we need to figure out a way to stop Giff. I don't know if we can destroy him, but if you and Vice can use your power to create a portal, Giff can do it. You guys have the same power. Do it. Try and make a portal, and I'll rider kick him into the portal, and we'll close it, and we'll seal him away. And they're like, all right, cool. And so it's not made clear if the portal they create is to the same dimension that Gift goes, or if it's some dimension they control. That's one thing that's a tiny knock against Ultimate Revice, is it's not 100% made clear the exact power level and depth it has, and where things get sent when they make a portal now. So they do it, they make the portal, and they get him a little bit closer, and then Daiji comes in with the final attack with Kagero, and boom, Rider kicks him into it and shuts the portal. But before he does, a bunch of those orbs come out, one of them being Ulteka, who's going to show up in Battle Familia, with the Chimera driver, which is interesting to me. But anyway, so they do that, and they untransform, and I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm a dad. If you don't know, I have two sons. Bodhi, who's almost about 2 in September, my son Shepard, who will be 4 next March. And they've really grown really close within the last couple, few months here at the new house that we've moved into. And they really love playing with each other. And it's so sweet when they do, like, have little spats and they say sorry to each other and make up for it. It makes your heart melt, seeing them say sorry and forgive each other and love each other. And so it hit me hard seeing Ikki, like, Daiji go up to Ikki and be like, he like breaks down. He's like, I'm so sorry for what I've done. He's like, I want to be able to atone for, and he gets cut off. Ikki just hugs him, and Sakura does too. And they're like, shh, it's fine. And they hug him, and it's such a beautiful scene. Say what you will about Revice, if you think it has rocky writing, you don't like what some of the forms look like, you don't like Vice, fuck Subaru Kimura. The show does a fantastic job at family dynamics and relationships. One of the main hallmarks of it that they said from the very start they were going to focus on, they have not stopped focusing on from the beginning. I love it. May it be Genta with Vale, may it be Genta's relation to his family, wanting to keep them safe, may it be Genta and Yukimi, may it be Genta, Yukimi, and the rest of the siblings themselves, Ikki, Daiji, and Sakura, their relationship and dynamic, everything about it. And I really like this end for Daiji's arc. Honestly, this episode could have maybe been the final episode, and then we get Battle Familia and we're done with the series. There's still like probably 4 episodes. I'm assuming 5-ish episodes probably left. I'm assuming they're gonna make it to 50 since it's the 50th anniversary, maybe not. So I don't know where we're going with it. I don't know if Ulteka is going to survive Battle Familia and then be the final villain. I will be fine with that because, again, Giff was a really uninteresting force of nature villain, so I don't care about him. If anything, we might see something where it's either going to be 1 or 2 things. Ulteka on his own, or 3. Some new random villain going to be the last villain, or Ulteka combined with the power of Giff with a new form, and either Giff in control or him, one or the other. I don't know. But yeah, and then so that's just my theory. So anyway, the kids and everybody get back to the shop, to the bathhouse. Of course, the dad's not there still; he's still recovering. But they embrace with the mom, and it just was a lot of feelings. And I even teared up quite a bit. My wife was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm fine. I'm sorry." And so yeah, just kind of seeing this reunion with the siblings and Yukimi just made me just very emotional. It was such a great episode. Yeah, so overall, I'm going to give this a straight banging 100%, 10 out of 10. This was a fantastic episode from top to bottom. I loved pretty much every scene in it. Any scene I didn't like, it didn't matter. Like, there was a random one with Hikaru still, like, recovering from using all the genomics his last time that he used when he was, you know, over demons, and he did, like, 4 of them or whatever, which was whatever. I guess that's cool, but I also don't give a shit. But this was a fantastic and stellar episode. It was very well written. It was well acted. The performances were great. The effects were great. Everything about it. I love where we're going now. We have all the siblings together and united a front there. Interesting to see Battle Familia, if we somehow get that to be subtitled and ready before next week's episode or what, because I'm sure the other episodes are going to slightly reference that somehow. But the next week's episode thing talks about somehow Vice being evil, so I wonder if, like, Giff isn't fully gone and he somehow influences Vice, because that was the thing, is that the reason Vice got captured was that he stopped Daiji from contracting with Giff. And so a little bit of that power was on Vice for a little bit. So I wonder if that's going to come back to haunt them, and, you know, there'll be some kind of heartbreaking thing where he has to fight Vice and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, like I said, fantastic episode. But let me know in the comments, what did you guys think of episode 44? Did you love it? Hate it? In the middle? Did you like Evility, whatever the hell it is? Wings for the future. God damn it, I love that jingle. Daiji's arc now that he's done being a dumb psychopath dickhead. Just in general, what do you guys think about the show? What are your thoughts and, you know, your theories for the end of it? Let's get some ending theories in there. What do you get some discussion going? Again, I thank you guys so much for liking, sharing, commenting, all that good stuff, watching the video. Thank you so much. But until next time, stay hooked on them henshins. And I'll talk to you later. Wings for the future. Sorry. Bye-bye.